was not able to make it. However, he has conveyed his best wishes to you. Uh, First, this panel discussion by asking Sanjeev, don't mind my question. Is it by choice or is it by compulsion you have become a monk?
Sir, so basically, if I have to give a very short brief, there is two sides of the story. So basically, when I was studying my first year as in Rema as a student, so basically I wanted to do something where we were a special batch called as entrepreneurship, and we always wanted to do something different. And the biggest issue was what do you do? Everyone's main motivation behind entrepreneurship is money. That's what everyone would say. But I was always impact driven. And to be very frank, this was one of my second startups where I opened a previous company where I had some experience but didn't have a complete exposure to startup ecosystem. And for me, it is more about impact driven. And money is always a
Initial hiccups, and 90% of the entrepreneurs, give up because of the initial struggles. So I think you could do a great deal by motivating the students how to overcome the initial struggle, because that is where the tough part lies. Motivation is there, but the resources are not there. The moral support is not there. Neither is the government doing much to help young entrepreneurs like you. So how did you overcome your initial struggle, which I feel is the most tough part?
So the industry I come from a very affluent background. In India, what I feel like is even though people have a lot of vision to do something great, it's more of a cultural aspect where there are a lot of barriers from family and X, Y, Z, it can be multiple. But when I started initially, I got support from my parents or a lot of people whom I worked with. But institutions have been a major support, like as per your college or any institution, generally helps a lot with the motivation. And I will give a very good example, certainly, where when I started my career in the first year of degree, I know a lot about this industry. And it used to demotivate me a lot when I just got into it. And it took me a lot of years, 2 to 3 years, I've been running some crash and founder, where initially I gave a very good perspective. I thought, okay, we can start a company, you can raise some rounds of money, and you can make a major impact. And it took me 3 years to even raise my first round. And in the process, it was so hard to understand that it's not as easy as how you get Shark Tank or X, Y, Z. It can be anything. But you have to understand that it takes a lot of hard work. I mean, everyone says it takes a lot of hard work to do something like this. I tell you, I'm personally still 22 years. I have a lot of experience to gain, and people like you can teach me a lot. But I would say, my thing, I would just say hard work. I mean, you can have a lot of talent and all, but it all comes down to working hard. And I would just say, even though you have a lot of talent down there, just work hard. Learn as much as possible about the industry you want to get in. It's the most important part, and that is what people miss out on. People never understand. You have to learn in depth about whatever you want to start, which can give you a lot of ideas. And in terms of motivation also, your ability to solve a problem only comes from the deep knowledge you hold about a particular industry. If you don't hold knowledge, generally what happens is you get demotivated because one thing goes wrong, you generally won't be able to understand what is going wrong and where. It can generally help. And as far as the government incentive goes, government can only help you push to a certain extent. And beyond that, there's nothing that you can do. It all comes down to what amount of hard work you're trying to put in. And to motivate, I would just say, hold on. Like I tell you personally, I work with a lot of venture capitalists and a lot of startup people who from the village because they are in the sustainability sector. People have great concepts, but because of their family issues, mostly in our country, they're not able to do what they want to do. For example, they have a commitment of paying the rent in the house, even though they just graduated and they know they can't do it. I would say, hello.
Yeah, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So I would just say, generally try what you can do, but I would say, I give personal incidents when for the past 3 years when I'm in the building Samraj, I faced one major issue where we were not able to obtain funds and we had a lot of political issues what we faced at a personal level. And I was remember one day, I was literally crying one day because it generally when you build a company, it feels like you're building something. It's like your kid, where it's very hard to maintain and to make that thing run, you have to do so many stuff. But if you believe the concept, you don't require motivation. If you think it can genuinely bring change towards something, you all you need to do is obtain knowledge about the industry. So it motivates you enough that you know enough about the industry where you can take steps easier. And I would say go on a slower pace. Don't try to do everything at a pace. Just try to break it down at a level. And try to solve one problem at a time so it becomes easier. And in terms of motivation, also the same.
So I'm just, incidentally today I read the paper. BBP has given this issue of where to, term this. I think today's paper it is.
Yeah.
They are just throw their hands up and said we can't do anything. So my question would be like now we get into what is it that actually your company is doing, and so that I'm aware, but my students do not know. So if you could just throw some light on your company, what you do, and how is it impacting the society, economy. So I think our students would like to know more about your company and its operations. Then we can take it forward.
So I'll just give you a small brief so you guys understand how I started. So basically, when we were in college, how we started it was that we observed there was a lot of cigarette shops in the college where a lot of cigarette butts were thrown around. And I had watched a video regarding a person in Delhi who actually collects these cigarette butts and recycles them and pays money for certain per kg around 300. When I started writing papers, we had all the dustbins placed nearby and started writing papers. And we started giving it to him. After 1 or 2 months, he stopped buying it from us because we told Delhi only is producing enough of that. So in that process, we spoke to so many people in the waste management industry that we understood there's a huge data gap. See, everyone knows data is the most important part. We all take data-driven decisions in any sector, in terms of education, healthcare. But in waste management in India, especially, there's no data. No one has waste data. No one knows how much waste is generated, where the waste is going, X, Y, Z. But what I learned was building a bridge between the waste management and waste data gap can help you a lot initially because that's the most important thing. And what we do at Subcrash is one is we have our own application called as Subcrash, and we are basically into waste management monitoring system where we are able to track exactly where the waste is generated and where the waste is going and how much of it has been recycled. We use a lot of artificial intelligence, and what we also basically do is waste recycling. Waste recycling, we have our own R&D center set up where we are working with multiple collaborative parties where we are doing maximum amount of innovations in waste management. Let it be anything small. For example, let it be what is the biggest solution you can give for food waste? See, so I'll give you a very good example. We work with Apple India. Apple India is our biggest client. So Apple India wanted a very catered solution of how would you do waste management for Apple India because Apple has international compliance to maintain. So Apple India, I'll give you a very good example. See, we all know plastic waste is recyclable, next step. But no one has an idea about how do you deal with food waste. So what we did was, because Apple wanted the most sustainable solution, we went to Apple India, we told them, see, we have found a pig farmer who can take all the food waste and convert it to pig food and feed to pigs. So that is more sustainable. And I'll give you a breakdown. See, pig farmers don't take tea powder because generally the pigs consume tea powder, they get cough. There's a lot of things like that. So what we did is we found a nursery which grows rose and they were able to take tea powder. So we have catered on situation like that. And Subtrash ultimately focuses on end-to-end waste management services through Trend. That is what we mainly do. And beyond that, now we are building our own plant in Pannel, where we are going to recycle each and every waste coming in, and also every waste coming in, we are going to take it and convert it to digital form, where you guys I will give you very insightful information. There's something called as EPR, Extended Producer Responsibility, where any like companies like Distillery, PepsiCo, and all, the number of plastic they produce every year, they have to recycle 40% of it each year. And so in that market, what we are doing is we are helping these companies reach that, putting all the digital records so they can show to the government that they're recycling number of 40% of plastic they produce each year.
So what I got to know is that you are staying away from the government contracts and you are concentrating on the corporate, waste management.
Corporate also. Yeah, and we do certain projects with governments, like we do projects with Ministry of Culture and Ministry of Defense. But we don't do commercial residential waste management, only commercial.
The second aspect students would love to hear from you is what are the government support they can expect in case they also venture into this, not only waste management, any sort of an entrepreneurial activity. Is there a government support system or is there an incubation center in the government where they train and try to give what are the various schemes available? So could you please throw some light on that? Maybe you are not got it, but you might be definitely aware of the government backup for such a young entrepreneurs.
So one part of it is Startup India registration, which everyone knows. Startup India registration. See, Startup India registration. Every organization doesn't get a Startup India registration. But it's called as DIPP, Department of Industry and Trade, where a DIPP certification can basically help